Used car prices in the United States have been on a roller coaster over the past year, with many consumers watching the market closely for signs of stability or further volatility. While the overall market appears to be trending upward, not every vehicle is benefiting from this recovery. In fact, a surprising number of once popular models are facing steep price declines, with electric vehicles, especially those bearing the Tesla badge, leading the downturn. For American car buyers and enthusiasts, this development brings both opportunities and concerns. Tesla, once the undisputed darling of the EV world, now finds itself at the top of a far less flattering list. According to a detailed study that examined more than 2.4 million used vehicles between 1 and 5 years old, Tesla models are depreciating at a rapid pace. The Tesla Model S suffered the most significant blow, with used prices falling by an astonishing 16%. This amounts to a loss of nearly $9,000 in value, bringing the average used price down to $46,503. It's a sharp contrast to the company's recent $5,000 price increase for new versions of the Model S, despite only minor updates. For consumers, this means used versions are beginning to look like a far better value, at least in terms of upfront cost. Following closely behind is the Tesla Model Y, which experienced a 14.2% decline in resale value. With a drop of nearly $5,000, its average used price now stands at $29,789. This is particularly noteworthy given that the Model Y has been one of Tesla's most popular offerings, often credited with pushing the brand deeper into mainstream American garages. However, with more competition entering the EV space and some consumers expressing fatigue with the brand or concern about long-term battery performance, depreciation has accelerated. The third steepest drop came from the Porsche Taycan, another electric vehicle that entered the market with high expectations and luxury appeal. Used Taycan models are now down 12.7% from the previous year, equating to a loss of nearly $11,000 in value. This luxury EV now averages $75,644 on the used market. While still expensive, the price decline might make it more accessible to buyers who previously found it out of reach. Nonetheless, such a drop raises questions about the long-term value of luxury EVs and how well they hold up compared to their internal combustion counterparts. Hybrid models haven't escaped the trend either. The Ford Explorer Hybrid, a favorite among families looking for fuel efficiency and space, saw an 11.3% decrease in value. Its average price now hovers around $31,811. Not far behind is the Tesla Model 3, which experienced a 10.8% drop, bringing its average used price down to $25,361. This is a particularly interesting development, given that the Model 3 was designed to be Tesla's more affordable, mass-market option. Seeing it lose value so quickly could be disheartening to early adopters who hoped it would hold its worth. Other notable underperformers include the Jeep Gladiator, which lost 10.7% of its value, the Ford Escape PHEV, down 9.9%, the Maserati Levante, down 9.5%, and yet another Tesla, the Model X, which declined 8.9% to an average resale value of $54,004. These figures suggest that consumers may be reconsidering their choices, especially when it comes to newer tech-laden vehicles or niche luxury models that don't offer clear long-term savings or reliability benefits. One of the biggest takeaways from this market shift is the dual challenge of being both an electric vehicle and a Tesla. While both characteristics have historically been viewed as positives, offering cutting-edge technology, environmental benefits, and brand prestige, they now appear to be contributing factors in depreciation. According to analysts, this may be the result of growing competition, a flood of used EVs entering the market, and uncertainties about battery longevity and software support over time. That said, there's a silver lining for those interested in buying rather than selling. Average used EV prices are still declining, but the rate has slowed considerably. In June 2024, average EV prices had dropped a dramatic 29.1% year-over-year, a decrease of $11,764. By May 2025, the year-over-year drop had narrowed to just 8.8%, or about $2,993. While this trend suggests that EV values are stabilizing, they are still depreciating more than traditional gas-powered cars. For bargain hunters or drivers who don't mind being a generation behind the latest tech, this could represent a golden opportunity. From a brand perspective, Tesla again takes the top spot for overall value loss, with a year-over-year average decline of 8.4%, equivalent to about $2,809 per used vehicle. Chrysler and Dodge were also among the worst performers, with drops ranging from 6 to 6.5%. Luxury automakers didn't escape either, as Maserati and Genesis both saw declines of over 4.5%. Even more mainstream brands such as Nissan, Buick, and Chevrolet experienced small but notable dips, suggesting the trend isn't confined to just electric or high-end vehicles. Ultimately, these price shifts speak to a broader transformation in the used car market. As more EVs flood the roads and newer models with better technology and longer range continue to launch, older electric vehicles, particularly those no longer backed by the latest software updates or with aging batteries, are naturally losing appeal. Tesla, which once stood as the symbol of EV innovation, is now facing the same challenges any automaker must deal with: maintaining residual value, brand reputation, and consumer trust in a competitive and fast-evolving landscape. For American buyers, especially those looking for a deal, this could be a rare moment of opportunity. While it's true that EVs are still working through growing pains in terms of infrastructure and resale confidence, the current dip in prices could make premium and high-tech models more accessible than ever. On the other hand, for sellers, it might be time to reevaluate expectations and perhaps hold on to that Model S just a little longer.